Hello and welcome to another exclusive Good e-reader video. This is Nick.
And this is Marcus.
Today we have the Jetbook comparison. So these are the Jetbooks by Ectaco. This is Jetbook Lite, and this is the Jetbook Mini. And Marcus is going to give you the lowdown on what the differences are.
So, hardware differences, there's a lot of differences. The Jetbook Mini is very minimalist. Its home screen is basically its books. So this is what you have, whereas the home screen for this is organized into books, pictures, and settings. You can see with the Jetbook Mini, it's 5 inches TFT LCD. It's about the same size as this, although this device is a bit bigger because you can see it has more options, more like a D-pad, numerical pad here, different settings and stuff. The Jetbook Mini has 4 AAA batteries, whereas the Jetbook Lite has 4 AA batteries, and batteries are included. One of the drawbacks is just because of the ebook formats. The Jetbook Mini only reads TXT and FB2, whereas the Jetbook Lite runs a whole hell of a lot more formats, PRC, MOBI, EPUB, PDFs, and so on. You can also load in Adobe DRM content, so books that you've bought from other bookstores in EPUB format, Borders, Kobo, Barnes & Noble, and so on. Right away you can see that this device looks a little bit more slicker. They're both pretty well as responsive. They both have these little humps on the back. This one, it protrudes a little bit more than this, but you can see that overall that they both have like these little humps where the batteries are stored. One of the sort of advantages on the Jetbook Lite here is how the SD card and USB card are hidden. You can see here that this is just evident, and you flip it over to the other side, you see that's where your SD card goes, and so it's pretty easy when you put that in for it to fall out, for you to put dust in there, if you're on a beach, sand or water to get in there, whereas this is protected. So we really kind of like this. This really makes a big difference as far as being able to lock everything in here. As far as ebook, let's just take a look at maybe some of the settings first. To be able to jump into the settings menu, you have to hit the top pause button, middle button to be OK. For the Jetbook Lite, it's simple as doing the navigation pad, pressing OK. Very quickly it loads. You can see that this pretty well gives you all of your options, whereas this kind of organizes the data a little bit better. So everything from user settings, the system settings, they pretty well have all the same options. It's just that with the Jetbook Lite, it's a little bit more organized as far as where you got to go and what you got to do. There's your internal file manager. Again, they both do pictures and everything like that. So let's take a look at an ebook, and just to give you a sense of how the ebook experience is different, because pretty well you're buying this primarily for ebook readers. They certainly don't play audio. They just barely do pictures. So you're buying this pretty well to read ebooks. So we'll just load up a random ebook here. So you can see the Jetbook Lite pretty well, or the Jetbook Mini rather, loaded up a book really fast, where this took a little bit more time because there's more things going on here. Let's just compare page turn speeds. So they're pretty well equal as far as the page turn speeds. They're both really fast, and this is mainly because they're using TFT LCD as opposed to e-ink. So with e-ink, when you turn pages, you'll notice sometimes on other e-readers such as the Kindle, the Barnes & Noble Nook Wi-Fi, and so on, that when you turn a page, it's actually refreshing and redrawing line by line, whereas with LCD, it's pretty well just super quick. So overall, we just wanted to give you an aesthetic comparison on the hardware as well as some of the software differences. With the Jetbook Lite, you can flip off the battery case by simply pressing this button up, whereas with the Jetbook Mini, in order to take the battery case off, you have to pull it off. So this is actually pros and cons, where if you're reading a book, you might accidentally click this. Both of them have built-in dictionary functionality. We preferably like the way that the Jetbook Lite is. It's organized a bit better. You can see this is the main menu. It's just listing books.
That's actually quite a weird layout for a main menu to have, for an e-reader to have for a main menu, is that there really is no main menu. This is as far back as you can go with it. Like that, it is a list of books, essentially, is your main menu.
And a lot of the menu functions that you're in will actually have numbers. So if you're, say, in a book, and one of the things that we like about it is that it's very intuitive. This is the back button, this is the zoom button. So let's just load up a kid's book really fast.
And to add on to that, it is quite unclear as to what these buttons do on this one compared to the Lite. You know what all these do. Like, this is a triple lined button. You don't really know what that means. This is a X button, but this really is the button to go back. And this doesn't really tell you that that is any sort of a confirm button at all.
Yeah, so there was a bit of a learning curve in here, because like certain buttons on here will do certain things, but those things will change if you're inside of a book or inside of other menu functions. So they're not universal, whereas these buttons are more universal. So let's just take a look at, when you're in a book here, if you don't have to necessarily use the D-pad to go, whereas this doesn't have a D-pad, you can simply hit a number and say, I want to hit the dictionary. And, you can hit these dictionaries functions and stuff. They both can be able to rotate like on the fly, so you can hit it to landscape or like portrait mode. So it's good for like left-handed and right-handed people, that this does like total 360 degree rotation. So all in all, the Jetbook Mini and the Jetbook Lite, there isn't a huge price comparison. The Jetbook Mini retails anywhere between like $199 to about $120, whereas the Jetbook Lite goes anywhere between $130 and about $170. So there's much more functionality with the Jetbook Lite. There's more options. We really like the overall layout of it a bit better than the Jetbook Mini. The Jetbook Mini's drawbacks is that it only reads very, very limited formats, so very few ebooks you find online are going to be in TXT or FB2 formats. You're going to have to really learn how to use Calibre or other ebook converting tools that, say if you just download random books from web pages on the internet, you'll have to actually convert those books to other formats, whereas the Jetbook Lite inherently reads a lot of different formats, so you won't really have to do all those extra steps and converting books that you've downloaded to other formats. So we really recommend spending an extra $30-40 to make your life, a lot easier, to have like a better interface, to be able to read more formats, to have an e-reader where it has more buttons in terms of page turning here. You can turn pages by switching this up, as well as turning pages here. So the buttons and layout is way more intuitive on the Jetbook Lite than it is on the Jetbook Mini. So overall, if you were to ask us what we recommend the Jetbook Lite over the Jetbook Mini, hands down, in almost every single way. So you could obviously judge for yourself. If you want to see full reviews, both written and video, you can check out our video reviews on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/user/goodereader. reader, as well as written reviews, previews on e-readers, Slate PCs, digital publishing, and ebooks on our blog at goodereader.com/blog. For Good eReader, this is Marcus.
This is Nick.
Everybody take care.